cover the closing call script, and I'm also going to link you guys the script so you can use it when you actually land the closing offer. Now, one thing I'll say for this is it's going to be different for every single offer, and the offers that you join as a closer, they're going to have their own scripts. You need to kind of tread the line carefully of, because here's the thing, scripts aren't the most important thing. You need to tread the line carefully of when your manager tells you to use this script, you kind of need to use the script. Okay, you can't just use my one because you've seen it work so well for me on calls, on all of the call examples that I've already linked. um, you need to kind of play the game, right? You need to play like the not corporate, because it's not corporate, but you need to play the game. Like if somebody who you're working for is telling you to use a script and you go on a complete rampage and use a different one and you're not closing deals, then there's going to be an issue, right? Also, again, scripts aren't they hugely important. The biggest thing, like I'll mention in the mindset section, and like I mentioned multiple times in this course, is your mindset. It's how you show up on the calls. It's your energy. Once you kind of learn how to sell, again, the scripts aren't the most important part, but I'm going to cover the exact scripting that I do use on calls because it's very important to burn this into your mind to really understand what goes into a sale, what goes into a closing call. And then once you kind of memorize the words, you memorize what you're looking for out of each section, out of each question, then you can put your own twist on it. And again, the most important part after that is the mindset and is how you're showing up on the calls. But let's break down the closing script and let's actually get everybody right on this. So I do keep it simple. This is the build call closing script. So the opening and rapport. Firstly, yeah, you can build a little rapport, right? Just ask where they're from. Just literally be a human. In my opinion, it depends again what offer you're on. If you're on an offer where you're selling to, C-suite executives in like billion-dollar companies, you probably don't want to talk to them about their dog and their cat. But if it's a B2C offer, chances are you can just jump on. Hey, bro, where are you from? Oh, you're from California. I have a friend that lives out there in Orange County. Just like something small to just show that you're a human. Or like it can literally be anything. Like one thing that I add in is, oh yeah, and by the way, I'm Irish myself, so if I ever speak too fast, just slow me down, haha. Right? Just make sure that they know you're a human, you're a normal person, you're not just like some sales robot that's about to sell them, right? But don't make it too long. The 30 seconds of rapport building will suffice. Then you're going to jump into the frame, right? So these calls are super straightforward, literally just a chat, getting to know you, getting to know your goals, and basically seeing if we can help you achieve them. That's exactly how you want to say it as well, the way that I've just said it there. And then add this in also. Honestly, my goal here is literally just to help you make the right decision for you, right? Whether that's joining the inner circle, whatever the name of the program, call it, I'm just calling it the inner circle. Whether that's joining the inner circle or not, like either way is totally fine. Yeah, and if it's not a good fit, no worries. I'll still give you some advice. I'll still give you a better insight into this business. So yeah, talk to me. What actually motivated you to fill out the application and chat today? What's going on? So yeah, that's how you want your opening to be. Again, when you start closing, you're always shitting yourself when you're taking your first couple of calls, but you just have to keep going. You have to get into your rhythm. And again, make sure your mindset is right, your sleep is right, you fit the gym, whatever you need to do, and you're going to be pretty normal on calls. And yeah, just set the agenda like this. You do this to basically do two things, right? Um, Again, further show you're a human and you're not just here to sell them, but also like to kind of set a bit of frame that you're also deciding if they're a good fit, right? Like my goal here is to help you make the right decision for you, right? If whether you join or you don't, like no worries. You're basically saying there like, look, I have the choice to kind of accept you or deny you, right? You're not saying it so heavily, but you are saying like, I don't care which way you go, right? I'm just going to guide you in the right way. So the reason you're saying that is so they don't just feel like you're trying to sell them the whole time. It feels like you're actually trying to help them, which you are, right? The more you just try help people, the more money that's going to show up in your bank account, right? So this number three, because yeah, I was meant to split up opening and report into two different things, but it doesn't matter. Uncover current situation. So the key to closing B2C sales is understanding the prospect's current situation, their desired outcome, and your offer is the link that bridges that gap, right? This is, quite common knowledge at this point, but that is what sales is. Okay, like, you understand their current situation, you understand their current pain points, what's wrong with their life, you understand what they want, what the right life for them is, what life looks like after them problems are solved, and then your whole job is just showing that your offer is the go between them two things, right? That's what sales is. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're moving through the call. So they're going to tell you, yeah, so what made you want to fill out the application? They'll typically come back with something like, oh yeah, I seen the advertisement, or um, I've been following the influencer for 6 months now, and always kind of looked into it, and blah blah blah, and I thought that the business model was interesting, right? That's cool. It's an okay answer, right? You're not expecting anything crazy deep off the first question, but they'll typically just say some surface level stuff, right? Then what you're going to do is just jump into what they're doing right now. Okay, cool. And what do you do right now? Are you like studying? Are you working a job, or like what exactly do you do? And they're going to proceed to tell you. Okay. Um, I'll actually take this out. But yeah, your whole aim is extract details about their current life and set the stage for understanding their why and how far they are from their goals. So let me break that down real quick. So let's say they tell you that they're a student and they work in Chick-fil-A on the side. Okay. Straight away, you're trying to think to yourself, okay, what does this person want to leave college? Does this person just want to leave Chick-fil-A? Like, start thinking about what they want to change. They do want to change something, otherwise they wouldn't be on that call. Okay, they wouldn't have booked out 45 minutes, an hour long, to speak to you, right? um yeah, like, they want to change something about their lives, so you need to start figuring out what they actually want to change, and either start realizing, okay, this is the perfect offer for them, this is the right route for them, or it's not, right? And also, once you understand it's the perfect route, you need to start understanding how to frame it in such a way and show them why it's the perfect route. But anyways, extract details about their current life, set the stage for understanding how far, like, understanding their why, their motivation for jumping on your call and buying your program, and how far they are from their goals. So once they tell you what they're doing, let's go that they're working in Chick-fil-A and they're studying, okay? Then you're going to push for the why, okay? Uncovering buying triggers is critical to closing. And like, that word buying trigger, I got it from Devonte, a guy that I learned from. He taught me sales. He's helped me a lot. It's literally a buying trigger. You pull the trigger and they buy. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. Be okay with discomfort. If their true why isn't clear, the call is a waste of time. Okay. Your pitch hinges on this why, on what we're about to uncover, right? In the next question that we're about to ask. Like, there's no point of taking the call if you don't get a good answer on this next question, on this why, right? So once they tell you what they're doing, once they tell you they're working in Chick-fil-A, they're going to college, whatever their current outcome is, right? You're going to go in and you're going to do this. So I'm going to give an example of how you would actually ask this next question. You would ask the why, and then I'm going to explain what I did. Okay. So you get the fact again that they're working, and then you go, okay, cool, and look, what's the plan when it comes to TikTok? What's the plan when it comes to drop shipping? What's the plan when it comes to Amazon? Whatever the business model is, go, what's the plan? As you can imagine, everybody jumps on the call with me, and across the board they tell me they want to make more money, right? Which, like, fair enough. Like, yeah, money makes the world go around, it makes the world spinning, right? But what we always want to know is, like, your genuine why, or your motivation behind the money. And the reason I ask is because everyone's motivation is different, right? And the better I actually understand your goal, your motivation, the better I can help you get there, right? So yeah, we always want to know the why, right? And everyone is different, right? If you take Bolo, for example, sure, he's built a ball of this knowledge in sales, income, yeah, most importantly, income with high ticket sales. But for Bolo, like, his why wasn't, you know, crazy money or millions or anything like that. Like, he literally just wanted to, number one, be able to help his mom and pay for her bills, and number two, leave construction, right? You probably seen, he always talks about it. He's working construction beforehand, yeah, making 1 grand a month. for him, he just didn't want to work 12-hour days, and he wanted to help his mom, right? Like family and freedom. That was the main two things for him, right? But then I was chatting to another guy, Paul, a few weeks ago, and he's in his late 40s. So obviously older than us. What are you, early 20s? Haha, you can like relate to them in that way. But yeah, so another guy I spoke to was Paul, late 40s, and he did everything the right way, right? So went to university, got his corporate job, climbed his way up the ladder, and he's making six figures. He's making 8 9K a month. But yeah, God bless him. He's literally just doing crazy hours. So they have Paul doing night shifts. He's some executive at a company, so he's doing self-inflicted 24-hour shifts, and he's just working, working, working. So Paul, like, he's not in a stage where he needs to help his mom, or he's not in a stage where he needs to, get off the building site and make more money. He just wants his fucking life back. Like, he wants to be able to sleep normally, like he's got two girls as well, so he wants to like be able to watch a movie with the girls in the evening, right, and focus on his health. So anyways, like, you get the point. I'm rambling, but everyone's why is valid. But what's your why? What's the motivation for getting into the business? So I've broken this down in depth on other closing call reviews, and you'll always see me do it basically exactly like that. Again, what you're doing, I'm going to reiterate, but I'm not going to go too deep. What you're doing with that question is cutting past all of the bullshit, cutting past, I was just interested in the business, I was just blah, 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 right? And you're getting to their real pain point, their real desired outcome, right? Like, why do you really want to do this business? Another thing you're doing with the way you're asking that question is you're giving them a template to respond to, right? For example, I gave myself as an example, Bolo, and they were two genuine motivations for me when I was starting out. And I would have bought, because of those triggers, right? Helping my mum and leaving construction. I would have bought a coaching program if I was on a sales call with somebody and they pulled on them triggers. So you want to pull the same triggers out of the person you're talking to, out of the prospect, but sometimes they don't actually know what you're asking them or what you're looking for. You give them a template of how you want them to respond, and they're going to respond in such a way, right? So it's quite a powerful question. And once they give you an answer, stick with them. Again, like, this is the most important part of the call. Like, this whole part here is literally the most important part of the call, arguably, right? Because like, if they don't have a pain point, there's no reason to sell to them. um, or if you don't find their pain point, there's no reason to sell to them. But this is a hugely important part of the call. So if they continue giving you surface level answers, like, yeah, I was just, looking into the business or something like that, just don't let them away with a shitty answer. You want them to say something like, yeah, I really want to leave my job because of this, or I really need to help my mom because she's getting sick, or I really need to, whatever it actually is, you will know when it's a genuine pain point. And like, another thing I'll say, like, genuinely be present on closing calls. Continue being a human throughout the whole thing. Yeah, you have a bit of a structure and you're asking questions, but like, just think about it. Like, if somebody tells you, oh, I'm making 20 grand a month already from my job, it's quite good. It's part time. It's like, I'm probably doing 2 days a week, but I just want more freedom. Say, like, literally, and let's say you're selling them an Amazon FBA course, right, where they can make an extra 5 to 10K a month. Literally say to them, man, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, why do you want to do this course? Like, you can literally say things like that, because you're challenging them and you're showing them, like, genuinely what is the issue, right? So yeah, when they're giving you shitty answers, just don't let them away with it. Stay in the pocket, stick with them. And once you get the genuine why, once you get the genuine motivation, whether that's leaving their job, whether that's paying their family's hospital bills, whatever it is, round it off with a monetary figure. And this is how you're going to round it off with a monetary figure, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, so it sounds like the main two things for you is family and freedom. That's usually what I say, because it's everybody says that, right? Like, everybody, that's basically everyone's goal, right? Helping their family and having more freedom for themselves. But let's say they tell you that they want to just leave their job, right? They want to leave Chick-fil-A, leave college, and escape the rat race. Okay, cool. So that, yeah, sounds like your main goal is freedom. Like, you want to escape the rat race. Let's get specific now. Let's actually get real for you. How much needs to be coming in so we can do that? And by the way, like, I already know you're ambitious. I already know no matter what goal, no matter what number you put in place, you're probably going to keep pushing. But I'm like, let's get real. Like, what genuinely needs to be coming in every month where you can leave Chick-fil-A and you can leave college? The reason that you say, I know you're ambitious, I know no matter what goal you put in place, you're going to keep pushing, is because sometimes you'll get an answer like, sky is the limit. And they don't realize that you're tying it back to their why, right? You always want to tie it back to their why, their why, their why. The reason that they gave you that they want to make money, you always want to like touch on it. You always want to go back to it and focus the conversation around that. So, okay, cool. So you need to make 5K a month to leave Chick-fil-A and blah, blah, blah. So now you can just refer back to the number rather than summarizing the why every single time, right? You can just talk about 5K a month moving forward. Now, removing objections. First objection you're going to is remove is I'm going to look into other businesses, right? So you're basically going to ask them why they like the business that they're looking into. Why are they on the call with you? Okay. Yeah, and there's hundreds of ways to make money. What makes you drawn to TikTok, or what makes you drawn to Amazon? Why do you want to do this business in terms of getting to the 5K a month? Yeah, what is it about this business? And then get the answer, right? Again, every answer is very, very different. I can't script a reply for every single answer on a call. If I could, then I would be an absolute god, but that's the idea, right? The calls that you're going to have after watching this haven't happened yet, right? So, like, when you get a reply, again, you just need to be present. You need to not accept a shitty answer. If they say something like, oh, yeah, I'm already doing drop shipping and you're trying to sell them an Amazon course, right? Or they'll say, I'm already doing high ticket sales and you're trying to sell them a drop shipping course, whatever it is. Um, like, don't get afraid when they tell you that they're doing something else. That's actually a good thing when they're doing something else, because it means they're failing at it. If they weren't failing at it, they wouldn't be on the call with you, right? It's actually better than them doing nothing, because the people that have never done anything, it's harder to get them to commit and do something again. But anyways, so just get them to sell you on why they want to do this business. And once they say, yeah, I like this and this, just like round it off and ask them, okay, so like you definitely want to do this business, right? Like, just round it off and have the frame of like, you want to make sure that they want to commit to this business and they want to take it long term. And even throw in something like, okay, yeah, definitely. Like, you want to commit to this business, right? You want to give the next few months to this. Um, or sometimes if they're a colder audience, they might say, I actually don't really know too much about the business, to be totally real. Once they say that, you can say, okay, cool. So from what you've seen, what did you like? And then you can, whatever they say that they seen and did like, you can pull on that and you can accentuate it. But if they say that, just be like, okay, no worries, I'll break down the business for you. And move on. Like, you just move on, because they can't sell you on the business model if they genuinely don't know anything about it, right? Now, once you've got an understanding of, like, business models, maybe what they've tried and stuff like that, this number 6, this can act as a double whammy question. How long has X been a goal, right? I'm going to show you how to actually properly ask it. But the double whammy can be, how long have you been trying? Or if they say, well, I tried drop shipping 3 years ago, that can kind of lead into, how long has this been a goal? How long is the 5K a month, leaving Chick-fil-A, leaving college, been a goal? Because if they tell you they tried drop shipping 3 years ago, you can go, okay, you tried drop shipping 3 years ago. Wait, how long has it actually been that you've been trying to achieve this goal? It's like almost you just realized, you're making it out as if you just realized that this has been a goal longer than a week or whatever, right? So you're going to get them to open up, right? And that's like a very genuine way to ask the question. When they tell you they've tried something 2 years ago, that's a genuine next answer. Shit, you tried 2 years ago. How long have you been actually trying? It comes across in a genuine way, right? Ideally, you want to knock out your questions all genuinely, like, and just have the conversation lead like that. But anyways, you're gonna ask them how long it's been a goal. The reason you're asking that is, accentuating the pain. It's making them realize, fuck, I've wanted this goal for like 5 years. Like, this is actually a bigger problem than I thought, right? Because, like, leaving Chick-fil-A and leaving college, like, it just seems like a daily, not a daily goal, but like, it seems like a quite, like, how do I word what I'm trying to say? Like people forget how long they've had goals in mind and they haven't achieved them. Because yeah, we always want to in our own minds make ourselves out as the main character, make ourselves out as if we do all of this work, and but it's not the case for like 90% of people, and it's not the case for about 99% of people who are going to be on your sales calls, because otherwise they wouldn't be on your sales call if they were completely where they wanted to be in life. Um, Sometimes you'll just get idiots, or you'll get people that just want to see what the offer is and they're actually doing well for themselves. That's different. But anyways, you're accentuating their pain. So how long has the goal been on your mind, right? Once they tell you, once they say, yeah, it's been like 3 years, 4 years, um, sometimes they will give bullshit as well, and they will say it's always been a goal. That's even worse when they say it's always been a goal. If you think about it, if it's always been a goal, then why the fuck haven't you achieved it? But when they say it's always been a goal, be like, oh yeah, like I can see you've clearly always been ambitious, but I mean, like, this specific goal in terms of leaving Chick-fil-A, having the freedom, leaving college. Then they'll typically go, oh yeah, well, specifically that, and then they'll say 3 years ago or whatever, right? um Now, you know now you're like, you're making the sale. Why do you want to do this now, right? The why now. You probably already know about the why now question. But yeah, so let me ask then, what's different about now, like compared to 3 years ago? What's kind of giving you this energy and giving you this motivation to move on this and work on it today? I know you didn't wake up yesterday and want to just work on it. So yeah, what's different in your life now compared to then? um or yeah, if they say they tried something, say what's different this time around, right? This is super important. You can't let them away with a shitty answer on the why now. Okay, because then there's no sale to be made. Sometimes they will say like, oh well, when I tried drop shipping, blah blah blah, right? When I tried Amazon, it was a big upfront cost. Like, it's always going to be. Sometimes they will blame the business model, but what you as a closer need to fundamentally understand is it's always their fault. Okay. And that sounds a bit mean. It sounds a bit like, what's the word for it? Cynical, like that it's everyone else's fault. The world is against you. But it is actually true. It is their fault. If you really think about it, it is their fault that they haven't achieved their goals. Because no matter what business you pick, everything basically works. Drop shipping works, Amazon works, high ticket sales works, hence why you guys have bought into me. You can make 10K, 20K, 30K a month, right? And basically every single business, right? So what you need them to realize and what you need to open their eyes up to is it has been their fault the whole time. And now they have to change it. Now they're the only ones that can make a change and make it work this time. Because once they've committed to that change, once they've committed to working toward those goals and they've realized what has held them back last time, the money comes easily. They can easily just put the money on a card and they're ready to pay you, which is your whole goal. It's it's what you're looking for, right? So if they say the business model is better this time around in response to the above, they say it is bullshit, right? Every business model will work if you put your mind to it, but what's actually different in their lives for wanting to make this work this time around? So let me run a play of doing this. So I will ask, okay, and what's different now compared to like 3 years ago? Like, what's really making you want to push for this and make it happen this time? So typically they'll give an answer like, yeah, drop shipping, and then I kind of got busy with work and stuff like that, and things just got in the way. But I definitely feel like I'm ready now. Um, if they say something like that, you can say, "What do you mean busy?" And then they'll be like, "Yeah, I just got busy. I had to work some extra hours in that time of my life, or something like that." Um, they'll say something along the lines of that, or they'll say like, "Yeah, the business model wasn't the best." So whatever they really say, you basically need to give them like an epiphany moment. You need to be, and this is real selling. Like, this is like, I'm constantly dropping game on these videos. I surprise myself, but you need to give them like an epiphany moment, and you need to help them, right? You need to help them get out of their own way. So let's say they say that, again, the business model didn't work. Just quickly ask them, wait, one sec, do you mind if can I share a perspective? Or wait, one sec, can I help you out with that? Right? So number one, ask them that. What do you think they're going to say? Obviously, if they're going to say, sure, go ahead. And this is basically the rant you're going to go on. Um, yeah. So like, here's the thing, John. In terms of like the business model and in terms of your specific goals, which is again 5K a month, taking a step back from Chick-fil-A, having the freedom, basically every business works. Um, bar obviously some scams and stuff like that, like you know yourself, but like Amazon FBA works, drop shipping works, like what you mentioned to me that you tried, you can definitely get to 5K a month, right? Like, let me ask you a question. Like, would it be fair to say if look, if you locked in completely, if you went all in 3 years ago with drop shipping, you'd at least be a little bit closer to the 5K a month, right? And when you do it like that, they'll typically go like, yeah, good point. Yeah, yeah. If I locked in that time, I probably would. So when they, as soon as they agree, you're going down their throat and you're going to jump in with, um. So are you ready now? Like, do you genuinely feel like today is the day to lock in? Like, put your all into this, put your work into this. And the reason I ask is, look, we can give you everything. We can give you like the plan here. We can give you the recipe to bake a cake, eggs, sugar, flour, but you still have to show up and fucking bake the thing. And again, keep a good attitude. Like the way I'm smiling, I'm adding in jokes. Like keep that attitude the whole time because it's just going to help them, respond and open up to you. And it shows you're actually helping them. It shows like you're not attacking them, like you're trying to push them for more. That's what a coach does ultimately, right? Like when you were playing football when you were younger or whatever sport you played, when your coach would come to you, he would tell you a couple of good things about yourself and then he'd be like, right, we need to work on this. And we need to work on this so, the team can win and you can win and you can get put onto the first team or whatever it is. You know what I mean? He would always speak in a way of like, we're helping you get there. I'm helping you get there, right? And that's what you're doing with open their eyes to the business model. Conversely, not conversely, but on the other side, if they, let's say they say they're busy, right? Um, you want to share them, you want to give them another perspective, right? So go, okay, you mentioned biggest thing, you've just basically been busy with work. Um, can I share a perspective on that? They're going to say yes, and then you're going to go. So here's the thing, like, look, no matter when, no matter what period in your life, work is always going to be busy, right? You mentioned you're working in Chick-fil-A and you're working in college as well. Yeah, that like you no wonder you're busy, right? You're doing college finals, you're working in Chick-fil-A. Um, but here's the thing, like you're always going to be busy. Like you're probably going to be busy 2 months down the line with something, you're probably going to be busy 6 months down the line, right? But we make time for the things that are important to us, right? Like, would it be fair to say, like, if you really locked in, if you really sat down 3 years ago when you were busy and you tried to find every single minute on your day to work on the extra business, to get the extra 5K a month in, you'd probably be able to squeeze out an hour to 2 hours a day, right? Would that be fair to say? And then they'll agree. Um, and then you go, like, once they agree, you'll go, so you ready to do that now? Like, are you ready to use the extra hours? I know you've got more time on your hands, but in terms of the mindset, are you ready to squeeze the most out of your day and really make this happen? Or how do you feel? Right? Or how do you feel from Bill Walsh? I was always used to listen to his videos, uh, but yeah, that's how you want to do it. So you want to like figure out what's held them back and share them a perspective, an epiphany of what's going to be different this time around. After that, like the way that I've asked both of those questions and showed them the way, they will always go, "Oh yeah, I'm good to go. I'm ready." Right? Like I'm ready to go. This is the right time in my life. 100%. I'm committing to this. Once you get that, what the fuck else do you need? Go for it. Go for the sale. Right? So once you get that, they're sold on the why now. Now you can explain the business model. I'm not going to explain the business model because it's going to be specific to whatever offer you're on, but yeah, use the template below if you want to build one. Um, the reason you explain the business model also is again to make sure like any questions in their mind are cleared up, and also so they look at you as an expert. So once you explain the business model, you like talk about the ins and outs of it, you actually come across as an expert, right? And then finally label their pain and their dream life. You can't make someone lose weight, you can't make someone who doesn't realize that they're fat get in shape, right? You need to tell them that they're fat, right? Okay, so yeah, from what so actually, here's the way that I do this. I'll do an actual example of how I usually do it on the calls. Um, here's the way I'll go. Okay. Um, yeah, to be honest, like John, I've actually really enjoyed the chat, and in my opinion, you're actually a perfect fit for the inner circle, and I want to say definitely accepted. Um, again, biggest two things for you is freedom, right? Basically, family and freedom. Number one, helping your family out, taking care of the bills, and number two, leaving Chick-fil-A. Like, you know, leaving college, leaving the kind of 9 to 5 route, and having that freedom for yourself, right? That tells me a good fit because I know that you're committed here and I know that you're actually going to put the work in. So I'm happy. And then I pitch, right? So, yeah, again, pitch is going to be different, specific to the offer that you're on, but that is the whole closing script. I'm not going to continue rambling. That's the script. Anything else that you need, ping me questions on school, ping me questions on WhatsApp, wherever we're connected. And yeah, if you want help tweaking the script to your specific offer, definitely down to jump on, ping it across to me, tell me what the offer is, and I'll help script it out. We can use this as a template, but again, different for every single offer. Other than that, let's work, man. Let's make some money.